She's back. Theresa May leads rebellion to derail Boris's Brexit Masterplan. Former Prime Minister Theresa May is plotting to lead a rebellion in a desperate attempt to derail Boris Johnson's new Brexit legislation. Mrs May is planning to vote against the current Prime Minister's internal market bill when it is put to MPs tonight, after it successfully passed its first Commons hurdle with a majority of 77. The Maidenhead MP has previously called the bill reckless for seeking to override aspects to the Northern Ireland Protocol in the Withdrawal Agreement. Now it appears she is leading the charge to reject the vote, according to Times Radio. Political correspondent Tom Newton-Dunn said on Twitter, "Theresa May still intends to vote against the internal market bill when it returns to the Commons tonight, I'm told." The first ex-Prime Minister in living memory to break a three-line government whip. Mrs May was replaced by Mr Johnson last July. She had announced she was stepping down as Prime Minister after repeatedly failing to get her withdrawal agreement with the EU voted through by MPs. However, Mr Johnson managed this in January before the UK finally then left the EU after 4 years in limbo. Now Mr Johnson says his new legislation will protect contentious aspects of the agreement he struck on the future trading relationship with the EU after the transition period ends on December 31st. This has sparked fury amongst both the EU and within his own party. Last week, Mrs May told the Commons the UK's reputation was now at risk. She said, "I consider that by introducing clauses 41 to 45 the government is acting recklessly and irresponsibly with no thought for the long-term impact on the standing of the United Kingdom in the world. This will lead to untold damage to the United Kingdom's reputation. It puts the future of the United Kingdom at risk. As a result, with regret, I have to tell a minister I cannot support this bill." She added Mr Johnson could lose trust with his latest actions. Mrs May said, "I believe that the government's willingness unilaterally to abandon an international agreement or parts of an international agreement it has signed, its willingness to renege on an agreement it has signed will lead to some questioning, as has already been made clear in an intervention, some questioning the willingness of the government to fully uphold the measures in the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. That in turn will lead to some communities having less willingness to trust the UK government, and that could have a consequence on the willingness of people in Northern Ireland to remain part of the UK. So, far from acting to reinforce the integrity of the UK, in pursuit of trying to appear to be tough to the EU, I think the government is putting the integrity of the UK at risk." Mrs May then made a further dig by adding, "If the potential consequences of the withdrawal agreement were so bad, why did the government sign it?" The Prime Minister's official spokesman said the legislation provides a vital safety net should agreement not be reached at the Joint Committee. He said, "The bill has been supported by the House of Commons and will continue its passage through the House of Lords. We continue to work through the Joint Committee to resolve the outstanding issues and ambiguity." The spokesman added there was no change in our position. The 9th round of Brexit trade talks are taking place this week, despite Mr Johnson's October 15th deadline of agreeing a deal looming closer.